Off we go to Farm Street this morning. No, not like that. More like this. A bit more citified. But where's the church? It's actually like it's hiding. Yes. There it is.
I'm Fr Dominic Robinson. I'm the parish priest here at Farm Street. Farm Street Church of the Immaculate Conception is the full name, but it's always been known in our 175-year history as Farm Street, which is actually this street which we're on. Until the 18th, 19th centuries, it was a little backwater. There was a farm here, the Hay Hill Farm. When the Jesuits, when we moved here in the 1830s, and then the church was built between 1843 and 1849, there was a workhouse on or near the site here as well. So the poor were very much a part of the place, and also the very rich were part of the place, because Mayfair was being built up as part of the Grosvenor estate as well, and it became a fashionable place to live.
I had no idea this church existed.
Yeah.
It feels hidden away in a very, very busy, well-trodden part of London.
Yeah.
And yet you can turn the corner and not even know it's here. It's hidden behind a tree, and yet it's got this absolutely magnificent rose window out the front.
Yes, it has. Yeah. A lot of Roman Catholic churches, of course, they were built in back streets in all of our cities in Britain. But we have this whopping great Gothic church comes up, this incredible medieval looking Gothic church. It's a real statement of kind of Roman Catholics are back. Oh, very close after Catholic emancipation, when in 1829, when Catholicism became legal. So it's a real statement of that. And it's bigger. It's bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. It's a TARDIS effect. That's right. Just when you come in, you are bowled over with this incredible west window. Yeah. It's actually designed on the lines of Carlisle Cathedral. The centerpiece, of course, is Mary as the traditional 19th century depiction of Mary, of a Madonna and child. And the church was dedicated then to the Immaculate Conception. So the Immaculate Conception is a teaching of the Catholic Church, which really goes back to the Middle Ages. St. Thomas Aquinas spoke about the Immaculate Conception, and Catholics, Orthodox, some Anglicans also in the High Church tradition would believe it, that Mary was conceived without sin, and so didn't pass sin on to Jesus, whom she conceived and was the mother of God. So that dogma, as it's called, that teaching was defined only in 1854.
Yes, very recent.
So the church was dedicated to the Immaculate Conception just at the time as that was...
at the moment that it was becoming orthodox.
Yeah, the high altar, as it was called, it's not the altar now, we call it the back altar, and that is the one piece of Farm Street Church which was designed by Pugin. So Pugin, who did the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, okay. This is who are these figures on the side depicted?
The panels are depicting the Old Testament sacrifices of Abel, Noah, Melchizedek, and Abraham.
I'm guessing that's St. Paul.
I think that's Abraham. I think it's Abraham and Isaac, isn't it?
Right. That's Abraham. The sword. Oh, so I didn't notice the small boy being sacrificed. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then.
Yeah, that's, I think, is Melchizedek. These are the 24 elders mentioned in the Apocalypse, Revelation 4, verse 10.
I mean, it sort of screams Pugin, doesn't it? So this is very striking.
Yeah.
So was this commissioned for the church?
So it was actually commissioned for the Roman Catholic shrine in Walsingham in Norfolk, the Shrine of Our Lady. Mm-hmm. And the artist is now our artist in residence. His name is Andrew White. Andrew is an evangelical Anglican, and he depicts saints and here the apostles, and this is the most visited piece of artwork in the building. Andrew took 12 men from his village in Lincolnshire.
I was going to say they definitely have the look of contemporary people.
Yeah. And so people often, they sit here, they look at this, and they'll often say, well, I saw myself in there, or I saw such a body down the road, that they're kind of people you know. And so it invites you into the Last Supper, to be at the Last Supper,
these aren't
along
distant
with others.
people, these are people like us. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the kind of genius of the reflection in the bowl, and is that the Holy Ghost above the...
Well,
what does it mean?
People have got different views on this. I believe that Andrew says that it's actually Jesus himself. Some people say, is it Judas?
I feel like you can identify John, the beloved.
Yeah.
I thought that was Judas.
I think that is Judas. And this is Peter on the left.
Okay. Well, how do you get to Peter? Oh, because that's who would be on the other side.
Yeah.
Sure.
The others could be anybody, and we don't need to use the names of the 12 apostles. They could be us. It certainly looks like Christ, rather than the depiction of Jesus, the depiction of Judas, rather.
Although I understand why people might, because there's a tinge of malevolence in the face.
There is. There's a tinge of malevolence.
Rather than an obvious love.
There is.
Yes.
There is. And yet Judas is portrayed very differently there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very striking. Very striking.
Yes, it's just to spend some time in front of it.
There's a thing on that side of the church, I guess that's north, isn't it? Where you've got these kind of miraculous trees in water.
Oh, you mean in the piazza?
Yes.
Oh, yes, it's not
part of the church, but
yes. Olive trees, yes.
Oh, is that what they are?
Yeah, the olive trees, yeah.
But it's one of the things that I sort of suspect, that you become acclimatised to things in your environment and you don't necessarily see that as miracles. But when you see that for the first time, if you've not seen it before, you
exactly.
You go, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
And this is what kind of, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's hiding, a carving, which is also, how is that even possible?
And this is on loan, so it comes out. So behind we have St. Aloysius, the patron of young people.
It's another modern piece.
Yeah. People spend an awful lot of time in front of this depiction of Jesus as a homeless person. And sometimes people don't know what it is at first. And it's only when you come to the feet and you see the wounds from the crucifixion, where the nails were, that you realise that this is Jesus covered, apart from his feet, in a blanket, sleeping on a bench.
In this area, homelessness has got to be a very live issue.
Yeah. We've got all of that, really. And the numbers in our homeless restaurant, which opens twice a week, for food provided mainly free of charge from local hotels, like the Connaught Hotel has been incredibly good to us. The Mayfair Chippy, there's a fish and chip restaurant here, and Claridge's, the hotel. So and during the pandemic, there were lots more hotels who were providing food for the homeless for us. So it's become a really important part of what we do. The homeless also, and those in need, also work in our cafe downstairs. So homeless Jesus becomes something of a focus for what we do. Some people have asked us, well, why is it inside? Wouldn't it be better outside? Because a lot of homeless Jesus sculptures are outside. For example, the one in Manchester, the one in Glasgow, they're outside the building. We got this because planning permission wasn't granted to Methodist Central Hall. originally in 2017, and they appealed
Oh, so
it.
they had it and couldn't.
Well, they did. They
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, they wanted to. They wanted to have it shipped over, and they applied for permission, and they wanted to have it outside, and in Parliament Square, and permission wasn't granted by Westminster City Council. So then we stepped in, and I approached Westminster Cathedral as well, and in the end it came to us on the grounds that it would be inside. And it works so well because here we have Our Lady of Seven Dolours, as it's called, this statue, and this is the Mother of God in her grief at the death of Jesus.
I don't think I've ever seen the sword thing before. Is that something that does turn up a lot? Yeah,
a fair bit. Obviously it's biblical. Sword will pierce my heart, and I just think it's not just homeless Jesus, but it fits so well with our understanding of the relationship between the mother and the son, because she's holding her hand out here. In grief, you can see it on her face, and she's pointing to her heart with one hand, and how her heart has been pierced by a sword, and with her other hand, she's pointing to Jesus, saying that is who God is in our midst.
One of the tensions within the Anglican Church is how much decoration you have, and yet, to me, when the artwork speaks very directly, I don't see where the argument is.
Exactly.